Hello and welcome back to WION World is One. I'm Kanishka Sarkar and you're watching Speed News. Let's get to the top stories of the day. US President Donald Trump has said United States is in no rush to reach a deal with Iran, but warned that the clock is ticking for Tehran as tensions continue. Trump stressed that any agreement would be made only when it is appropriate and good for US and its allies, signaling a strategy of patience rather than urgency. He also ruled out striking Iran with a nuclear weapon after his previous threats to completely destroy Iranian civilization. While speaking to reporters, he claimed that he doesn't have to use a nuclear weapon because Washington has decimated Iran without it. Iranian media reported blasts over Tehran with air defense systems activated across parts of the capital in response to what officials described as hostile aerial activity. State news agencies said that sound of air defense fire was heard in western Tehran while systems were deployed in multiple areas to intercept unidentified targets. However, an Israeli security source has denied any involvement, saying Israel was not carrying out strikes inside Iran. Iranian leaders have issued a strong message of unity, pushing back against claims of internal division amid heightened regional tensions. Senior officials, including President Masoud Pezeshkian and Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, stressed that the country remains politically and nationally united, reaffirming support for the leadership of Iran's supreme leader. Coordinated statements come after comments by US President Donald Trump suggesting that there were signs of infighting within Iran's leadership. Israel and Lebanon have agreed to extend their ceasefire by 3 weeks. US President Donald Trump announced the extension after hosting the Israeli and Lebanese ambassadors in the Oval Office. The extension follows a previous 10-day truce brokered by the United States earlier in April, aimed at advancing direct Israel-Lebanon peace talks and to prevent renewed fighting between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah. Trump also said that he expects to hold a three-way meeting soon with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Lebanon's President Joseph Aoun. Israel Defense Forces have released footage of airstrikes targeting what it described as rocket launchers at Hezbollah military site in southern Lebanon. Israeli military said several rockets launched from Lebanon towards northern Israel were intercepted after sirens were triggered in the Shtula area near the border. Hezbollah confirmed it had fired rockets into northern Israel, calling the attack a response to what it described as Israeli violations of the ceasefire. US has extended an invitation to Russian President Vladimir Putin to attend the upcoming G20 summit, as Washington will host the summit this year. The invitation would mark a major easing of international pressure on Putin, who has been shunned by most of the West, but not Trump, since ordering the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. However, US President Donald Trump has expressed doubt that Putin will actually attend, pointing to ongoing geopolitical tensions and strained relations between Washington and Moscow. A heartwarming moment unfolded at the White House when Travis Smith, a 2-year-old child who was born hearing impaired, played on the Oval Office carpet during a healthcare affordability event hosted by US President Donald Trump. The event focused on improving access to medical care and reducing costs for families. Smith was invited to the White House with his mother, Sierra Smith, to show the effects of an experimental gene therapy developed by Regeneron that he received at 18 months as part of a clinical trial after being diagnosed with an autogenetic mutation, which is a rare cause of congenital deafness. Government of Tanzania has said that more than 500 people have been killed in violence linked to recent elections, marking one of the deadliest outbreaks of political unrest in the country's recent history. Tanzania's president has vowed that the government will act further on the recommendations of the government-appointed commission to conduct an in-depth investigation into matters the commission has identified. A landfill in Chile has been identified by the United Nations as one of the world's largest methane emission hotspots. The site was highlighted for releasing significant levels of methane, a potent greenhouse gas that contributes heavily to global warming. Experts say landfill emissions remain a major but often under-addressed source of climate pollution. Foreign ministers from Chile and Bolivia have agreed to restart formal political consultations after a gap of 48 years, marking a significant thaw in long-frozen relations. Agreement was reached during bilateral talks aimed at rebuilding diplomatic engagement and addressing long-standing issues between the two neighbors. Officials on both sides described the move as a step towards gradual normalization of relations, with plans to establish a structured dialogue mechanism on political and regional matters. India and New Zealand are set to sign a free trade agreement next week, marking a significant step towards strengthening economic ties between the two countries. The deal is expected to focus on expanding trade in goods and services, improving market access and boosting investment flows, with both sides aiming to deepen cooperation across key sectors such as agriculture, technology and education. Officials from both the countries have described the agreement as a major milestone in bilateral relations, coming after years of negotiations. Uttar Pradesh anti-terror squad has arrested 2 individuals for their involvement in anti-national activities and their collaboration with ISI-backed Pakistani gangsters to plot attacks against India. The accused have been identified as Tushar Chauhan alias Hizbullah Ali Khan, a resident of Meerut in Uttar Pradesh, and Samir Khan, resident of Old Simapuri in Delhi. According to officials, the accused have been produced before the competent court and further legal proceedings are underway. Satellite imagery showed multiple wildfires burning across southeastern parts of the U.S. state of Georgia. Footage showed large clouds of smoke rising from blazes in Brantley and Clinch counties. Georgia Forestry Commission on Wednesday had said that evacuations were carried out following fire in Brantley and Clinch counties. National Weather Service has warned very dry vegetation and low humidity were creating high fire danger across north and central Georgia, while wildfire smoke reducing visibility and air quality in some areas. New Delhi is reeling under a severe heat wave, with the city experiencing its hottest day of this year on Thursday as temperatures soared to 43 degrees Celsius. The weather agency has forecast continued heatwave conditions on Friday and Saturday, with temperatures expected to rise further. It has also issued a heatwave alert across northwest India for the next 4 to 5 days and central and eastern India for the next 2 to 3 days, urging people to stay hydrated and avoid exposure to the sun. Moving on to updates from the world of business, Japan's inflation has picked up again as rising global oil prices feed through into higher energy costs, according to new data. Core inflation climbed to 1.8% in March, that's up from 1.6% in the previous month, marking the first acceleration in 4 months, though still below the Bank of Japan's 2% target. The increase is largely driven by energy, with fuel costs easing less than before as the West Asia tensions have kept oil prices elevated. This is raising concerns about persistent imported inflation in a country heavily reliant on energy imports. The trend adds pressure on the Bank of Japan, which is expected to keep rates steady for now, but may face growing debate over future tightening if inflation continues to build. BYD's aggressive discounting is accelerating China's electric vehicle price war, with average price cuts widening as competition intensifies among major automakers. New data shows that BYD's discounts rising to record levels, with rivals also increasing price reductions to defend market share. The ongoing price war reflects deep overcapacity in China's auto sector and weakening domestic demand, forcing manufacturers to prioritize volume over margins. Regulators have repeatedly warned against irrational competition, but pricing pressure continues to escalate. At the same time, automakers are expanding overseas to offset shrinking profits at home, as analysts warn the trend could prolong industry stress and further strain profitability. Nike is laying off about 1,400 employees, roughly 2% of its global workforce, as part of a cost-cutting and efficiency drive under its Win Now turnaround strategy. The majority of cuts are in technology and global operation roles across North America, Europe, and Asia. The move comes as the company struggles with slowing sales, weaker demand in key markets like China, and growing competition from rivals. Nike says that restructuring is aimed at simplifying operations, improving supply chain integration, and speeding up product innovation. The layoffs follow earlier job cuts this year and reflect ongoing pressure on the sportswear giant to restore growth and profitability amid a challenging retail environment. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, saw its shares jump sharply after Taiwan's financial regulator eased restrictions on how much investment funds can hold in a single stock. The change is expected to allow more capital to flow into heavyweight companies like TSMC, which already dominates Taiwan's stock market. Investors reacted positively, pushing the benchmark index higher as TSMC led gains across the tech sector. The move is seen as part of a broader effort to make Taiwan's fund market more flexible and attract institutional investment. Brazil's antitrust watchdog CADE has moved to deepen its investigation into Google over the use of news content and possible market abuse. The regulator has proposed to reopen the case and begin formal proceedings, citing changes in Google's conduct since the probe first began in 2019. Officials are now examining how Google's search and AI features collect, display, and summarize journalistic content directly on its platform. Google has responded, saying that the decision is based on a misunderstanding of its products and that it will continue to engage with regulators. UK regulator Ofcom has closed a major security loophole that could allow actors to secretly track mobile phone users. The authority has banned the leasing of global titles, special telecom identifiers used to send signaling messages across international networks. While these tools help manage services like roaming, officials warn that they can also be misused to intercept calls, divert messages, and access sensitive network data. In some cases, they could even be used to track the real-time location of users anywhere in the world. The White House has accused China of stealing intellectual property from US AI labs on an industrial scale, raising fresh tensions ahead of a key leaders' summit. According to a government memo, foreign entities, primarily based in China, are using large networks of proxy accounts and jailbreaking methods to extract data from advanced AI models. Officials say that these campaigns aim to replicate US AI capabilities through a process known as distillation, where smaller models are trained using output from more powerful systems. The US has said it will share intelligence with AI companies and explore action against those involved in such activities. Moving on to updates from the world of sports. Now, fifth-placed Delhi Capitals have been handed a major boost. Star pacer Mitchell Starc has been cleared by the Cricket Australia to take part in the Indian Premier League. The 36-year-old missed the first half of the season because of fitness concerns. Starc had been recovering from elbow and shoulder injuries, which he had sustained during the Big Bash League. He's expected to arrive in India later today. He is likely to undergo a period of acclimatization and gradual workload build-up before being available for competitive action next month. Barcelona forward Lamine Yamal has been ruled out for the remainder of the season with a hamstring injury. The 18-year-old sustained the injury in his left leg during Barcelona's 1-0 victory over Celta Vigo. Barcelona, in a statement, said that Yamal will now follow a conservative treatment plan and he is expected to return in time for the World Cup. Spain opened their campaign in Group H against Cape Verde on June 15th before taking on Saudi Arabia on June 21st and finishing their pool play against Uruguay 6 days later. Next up, updates from the world of entertainment. Ranveer Singh's high-octane action thriller Dhurandhar 2: The Revenge has officially shattered records in the United Kingdom. The movie has raked in an unprecedented £4.38 million, that is nearly $5 million. The Aditya Dhar directorial has dethroned Shah Rukh Khan's 2023 blockbuster Pathaan to claim the title of the highest-grossing Indian film of all times at the UK box office. Bhoot Bangla, the highly anticipated horror comedy marking the reunion of superstar Akshay Kumar and director Priyadarshan, is holding its ground beautifully despite heavy competition at the cinemas. The film has successfully crossed the 127 crore rupees mark globally. While heavy-hitting action films are dominating other screens, Bhoot Bangla has carved out a solid chunk of the market by catering specifically to family audiences. The drama, an R-rated romantic comedy starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, has officially surpassed the $100 million mark at the worldwide box office. Directed by Christopher Bogley, the film explores the darker, complex themes of a couple whose relationship unravels days before their wedding. The wait for megastar Rajnikant's next action-packed outing is getting shorter. Makers have officially announced that filming for Jailer 2 has wrapped. The team shared behind-the-scene photos of rap celebrations on social media. Director Nelson Dilip Kumar is returning to the helm with the project. Warner Bros. And DC Studios have released the first teaser trailer for Clayface, promising a chilling, full-blown horror thriller that abandons the traditional superhero formula. Starring Tom Rhys-Harris and directed by James Watkins, the film follows a rising Hollywood star whose obsession with relevance leads to a horrifying body-melting transformation. Clayface is slated to hit theaters on October 23rd. Dave Mason, the British singer, songwriter, guitarist and co-founder of the legendary 1916 psychedelic rock band Traffic, has passed away at the age of 79. A spokesperson confirmed that Mason died peacefully at his home in Nevada. All right, that's about it in this edition of Speed News. I'm Kanishka Sarkar. I will take your leave, but don't go anywhere. Global news action continues right here on WION.